All right, guys, so I actually get asked a lot if we still include conventional lifting in our programming, and I think it's probably because I don't post a ton about it, but make no mistake, we definitely still do conventional lifting, or at the very least, variations of some of these patterns or different ways to cue some of these patterns, but we are still doing most, if not all of them, in some capacity. I would say that the differences are they might not occupy the centerpiece of our program like they would in other training programs, with all the major emphasis being built around them as that centerpiece. And the reason for that is that, number one, it's actually kind of easy to get people the benefits of these things, right? It's easy to get athletes, relatively speaking, strong, and take advantage of some of the adaptations that these things provide. Any general strength or capacity transfers, tissue quality adaptations in functional hypertrophy or mass, tendon adaptations, things like that. The other thing is that the forces provided, or as seen in these lifts, the high load, low velocity, is not necessarily indicative of the same kinds of forces the athlete is going to be encountering in the sport, right? So they definitely have a place, we definitely use them, but they're not the centerpiece ahead of the table at the expense of all else, right? And that's not right or wrong. I'm not calling coaches who do it differently wrong. That's just how we've done things and had success with it over the years, right? Like I said, doesn't mean that they don't help build general capacity for sport in general, whether it's strength, whether it's mass or functional hypertrophy, whether it's injury resilience, things like that. It's just that force, velocity-wise, they're not necessarily as close to sport, and on top of that, they're also not necessarily as movement-specific. But yeah, my advice would be still include